album concept hour. The album concept hour. It's the album concept hour.
Hey, what's going on? It's the album concept hour. I am your host, Brad LeBaron, and as I always am here at youtube.com/FlyoverStatePark. I am joined as always by my co-host here, John, for the first little segment here. And this week we have a very special episode.
A very special guest.
With a very special guest. I am hearing a little bit of music playing in someone's channels.
I was going to say, where is it coming from?
I thought that was you. I didn't know it was
The ghost in the machine.
Yeah, I was like, I think I hear the album that we're going to cover.
Oh, shit. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize.
That's all right. You just heard our special co-host that's going to be on here for this very special episode. Danielle MacQuarrie is coming back for this one. What's going on, Danielle?
Just enjoying Jordan Duffy's new album.
Hell yeah. Over there in Canada land, as we covered last time.
Canada land, yes, indeed.
Still very jealous of where you are and
Canadian
as opposed to where I am.
fighters.
We have a very special guest today, and that is the person whose album we are covering tonight, Jordan Duffy. Welcome back to the podcast. It's your third time, but first time covering your own stuff. So I'm really excited to have you back.
So that's a very special milestone, actually.
Yeah.
We rarely ever have a guest who's been a guest
and
then comes on to cover their stuff.
Yeah,
usually it's like we get a guest to cover their stuff, and then they might
and then they'll come back for covering something that they enjoy or something. Yeah. So you've done the opposite of a lot of our guests.
I did the opposite.
Yeah.
I like to do things out of order, apparently. So, but I'm all for that.
Yeah. Well, I think the first time you were on, we played like a demo of one of the songs you're working on at that point, and you've just been keeping on making music since then. You're on your second album. This is so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So I'll ask you a few questions about it, and then we'll cover what we've been listening to. I know everyone's just chomping at the bit to find out what our newest playlists are and what have you. But let us know a little bit about the process. How long were you in the studio for this one? And how old are some of the older tracks, and new are some of the newer tracks?
The album has been about 1.5 to 2 years in the making. So a little bit faster than my first album. But you have songs on this album that were written anywhere from 6 months ago to well over 10 years ago. One of the songs that's named after the album, Nights Like These, was written when I was 18 years old.
Wow.
And they're all over the place. So it might be new to you, but I've heard it for a while.
Yeah. Well, you were mentioning that.
Yeah,
you were mentioning that during the listen through. It had that song in particular had some changes, of course, since you've had it so long. You said it used to be a little slower, more. Was it an acoustic song to start with?
Yeah, it was a really slow acoustic song that was like double the length that it's already a long song to begin with, but it was like double the length because it was slower.
Yeah. You were just like, I'm just gonna slow jam this 8-minute
yeah.
thing.
It felt kind of like a moment of, I don't know, have you guys ever seen That Thing You Do?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay,
my
so
God, we love that
when they bring in the drummer
Yeah.
and they're practicing, and then when they go to perform, he's like, do, 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 do. And they're like, that's kind of how I felt with Nights Like These, because I remember my producer being like, I did up the tempo. And I was like, what? And then I heard it and I was like, oh, this is how it should have been.
Nice. Oh, wait. So did they up the tempo before the vocals were added to it, or was it like...
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
It was, we knew the concept of the song. We knew how it sounded.
Yeah.
And she went in and made it what it sounds like today. But she was like, I did change the tempo. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. And then she played it and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to like you changing my precious 10 plus year song. I don't know. I would assume you had some sort of some sort of.
But I was with Guy on that in that thing
Yeah.
you do, not the lead singer who's
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
it's my way.
Well, I mean that's
Screw that
like
guy.
that's what's important in the production role or whatever is to make those calls and to be like, hey,
Yes.
I know you love this, but we can make it
Yeah.
even better,
Yeah.
and
I-
putting
I
aside the
have-
egos or whatever to make that happen.
100%. And I have co-producer credits on all of the songs, but it's truly
Yeah.
like Party Nails, who is my producer.
Mhm.
She gets all of the credit.
Yeah.
And if anything, like I brought the songs to her, like, okay, here are the vocals and here's the guitar. How can we make this sound epic? And then
Yeah.
she's like, okay, I
Yeah.
got you. Like, let's do this. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's just her and I, like a true teamwork
Yeah.
putting these songs together, and I'll be like, no, I don't know about this, or she'll like show me something and I'm like, holy cow, how did you do that? So
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
yeah.
I'm sure they must appreciate the fact that you've done some engineering yourself. I'm sure.
Yes.
I always think about that when it comes to like, like singers, pop singers, but singers in general. Sometimes singing is all that you do in the studio, and then other
Mhm.
times you're like you have your hands dirty and in it.
Yeah, it's a totally different thought process. If I was just going in as a singer and just being told, okay, you're going to sing this, that's one thing. But and even if these weren't my songs, I still think I'd be like a stickler being like, hey, I hear this like a random note that's playing. And it turns out that like something wasn't turned off in one of the tracks. And so like there have been moments where I'm like, what is this? And
Yeah.
my producer and mixer would be like, what are you talking about? And then like we lower everything and they're like, how did you even hear that? I'm like, I got engineer ears, man. Like,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. You have to cut out all of the like little
Yeah.
tiny fart whispers from the studios.
yeah.
But that's really cool though that you can give to the project in that way. But what have you been? Let's get to our world famous segment. What have you been listening to lately? Maybe some of the stuff. What have you been listening to while you're listening to making the album or something too? We'll start with you this time, Jordan, our guest of honor. Hold on, are you muted? Can I hear you?
What
I think she's
happened?
just thinking. Oh no, she is muted.
Oh no,
Shoot.
she is muted.
Oh
Oh,
no!
sorry.
What happened?
That's weird.
Hold on, did I do it? 1 second. What about you, Danielle? What have you been jamming on lately?
It's just like not much, but the Chapel Rowan's The Givers like really like on top of mine right
Yes, that one's a
and
fun
like an
one.
old Semisonic.
Oh, I,
I
love
just
Chappelle
rewatched
Roan.
absolutely. I watched 10 Things I Hate About You recently and like
Ah,
old
No, I
Heath
never saw
Ledger.
that one.
yeah.
Oh really? Oh my
No,
god, it's
I know.
so
I think
good.
I've
great,
heard this.
great film.
I think I've heard the soundtrack.
Yeah, and so like there's a scene and they go paintball gunning, like paintballing or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's
Jordan,
it's a
can we hear you?
Semisonic song.
Testing. 1,
Yay!
2,
I hear
Hey.
Jordan.
She's back.
I hear Jordan.
Technical
Now I just
Sorry.
difficulties
Of course, it's
abound.
the engineer who has the issue.
you were just talking about it too.
Oh,
That's funny.
sorry, y'all. Okay.
1 second. Let me. I have to go back and get your video going.
What's funny is like I would have been in here like 30 seconds sooner, but I kept hitting the stupid Spotify link that you sent instead of the one prior, and I was like, no.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
All right,
button.
all right. What, Danielle? Can you talk one more time, quick? I just want to make sure.
Oh.
Okay,
I
all right.
just- there we go.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off the second you started
it's okay.
talking.
I wasn't sure what the assignment was. That's all good.
Okay. So Danielle has been listening to Chapel Roan and
Mhm. An old Semisonic song.
an old Semisonic song.
That's
Sorry.
like I'm good with the two.
Thank
I'll
you.
just leave it at that.
Thank you,
Go with
Danielle.
the deuce.
Jordan, sorry. I guess we were on you. What have you been
That's okay. That's
jamming
okay.
on?
I have been jamming on. I say it Joe, but I know that it's Joe. His
Oh
new
yeah, the one that
album,
starts with a D. Yeah, I
Yeah,
recently heard about them.
the Crux album. I actually am really enjoying it, and you can definitely hear his influences. I like the Beatles, and
Mm-hmm.
I even hear like Billy Joel. Like it's actually a very good album. I really enjoy it.
Good songwritery kind of album.
Yeah, I think it was really good. And I liked, he has a song that he has written about his sisters. And it's a very fun song. And I like the lyrics of it. Like basically him saying that like he wouldn't be the man he is today without his sisters, which is
Aw.
very sweet.
That's very
As someone
nice.
who has one brother and two sisters, I understand the pain of being the only brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And then the
don't-
other thing I've been listening to, it came out back in January, but it's a singer called Yola, and it's
Yola.
her new album called My Way. It's very different than her previous ones. Her previous ones were a little bit more country folk soul, and this one is like really like pop soul. It's very fun.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm seeing her next month, I think, in LA. She's very good.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever run into the name Angelica Garcia in the LA area?
Angelica Garcia. I don't know. I'm gonna write it down.
She's kind of
Write
a
it
climbing pop artist too. She's actually the stepdaughter of someone we've had on the show.
Oh, cool.
But she's got some really, really good music. That's part of what I've been listening to lately. Is some of her newest stuff. But yeah, you guys should definitely hook up and make a show or something.
Cool.
And is that anything else that's on your list of listenings recently, Jordan?
Honestly, the Crux album I've been obsessed with. It's been on repeat. You were talking about inspos for the album, and we had anywhere from Styx to
Styx made it in there.
AC/DC.
Interesting.
Styx made it in there. I love
Okay.
Styx.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And we had even like modern stuff today, like Chapel Roan is definitely an inspo. But like as I was doing the album,
Yeah.
she was becoming popular.
Yeah, she was skyrocketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a very sweet compliment from my friend the other day saying that he thought of my album as like early Chapel Roan songs. And I was like, that is the most nice thing that you could ever say.
Yeah.
That's
to me.
really cool.
That's
That is a very
awesome.
nice compliment.
Very nice compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Chapel. That album is a banger.
We might have to have you
Really?
back because we're gonna have Danielle back for when we do cover that album.
Oh, okay, cool.
We're just waiting for her like sophomore album to come out
To be
Yeah.
so we
released.
can talk about it around the same time. But
Have you guys listened to her other stuff on Spotify?
Yeah.
I
No, I
haven't
have
heard
not.
much
It's
outside of the
different.
album and the new single.
I'm
Yeah.
just I became such a big fan with the rise and
Yeah.
fall of the Midwest Princess.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
You know, it's just
Makes
such
sense.
I didn't know there was much
It's
so good.
much
a
more.
it's such a good album.
It's definitely a different feeling. It still
Yeah.
sounds like her,
Yeah,
but you can really tell like she really came into herself with this.
yeah, because she started like
album.
right out of like high school, I think. So
Something like that.
yeah, yeah.
She's been
she's-
developing.
she's been working on that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as far as me, I've been listening to.
Can I go next?
Oh yeah, you should go next because you gotta
Yeah,
get rolling.
Yeah. So I've actually been just listening to a lot of country at work. Actually,
Yeah.
it's been really nice. Actually, even though I have been listening to a lot of Toby Keith as well, who I've
Mm.
not been a big fan of as a person as of late. But it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes you got to separate the music from the person.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
it's really
The art
good
from the artist.
content. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know, it's tough, but it's been real nostalgic. Listening to a lot of Rascal Flats too.
Yes,
Little
I know
Garth
the Rascal
Brooks.
Flats.
Not
Yeah,
the evil side.
they were the
Garth
ones
Brooks.
that had a lot of fun songs. Like, well, they had the one. What was it? Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy. Is that
No,
the-
that's Big and Rich.
Damn it!
Big and
Although
Rich.
we
Okay.
did
I
actually
don't know
listen
them.
to most of their first two albums, and that was really fun.
Yeah,
So yeah, just remember country's good influence on everybody sometimes. You know?
yeah. There's some
But
there's some great country.
Yeah, there's some
in
good
its
music
history.
out there.
You know.
Do you like
Yeah.
Casey Musgraves?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I love Casey Musgraves.
I love her too.
She is
Yeah.
she is a really rare songwriting talent in a
Mhm.
very what is becoming a cesspool of country.
Yeah.
and she kind of she differentiates herself from a lot of what's going on
Mhm.
right now.
Mhm.
I really like
Absolutely.
that. What is that? The trailers.
Oh,
Six,
her first
her
album.
first album is just
Oh, it's so good.
fantastic. Actually,
Yeah.
I still consider that to be a concept album. Would like to
Is
talk
it called
about that at some
Trailers?
point.
The album's called
No,
Trailers? Or?
it's out of the trailer park or something like that. I have
Okay.
to look it
Okay.
up.
So it's
But
kind of
it's
a concept album about living in a trailer
well,
park,
it's kind of like
or
making it out of it too.
Making
You
out-
know,
okay.
Same
It's
trailer, different
different park.
same
That's the
trailer,
one.
different
I
park.
love
Great
that title.
album.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
It's
a
a
very
great
good
album.
That's a good title.
Again,
Yeah.
very strong songwriting, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
very strong execution of her strong songwriting.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't
Yeah.
see that much anymore, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of the
Well, it's like-
songwriters are releasing real like light-hearted songs
Yeah.
all the time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I find too with country, there's like I find with her music specifically, it's like you can tell she's someone who appreciates different genres.
Yeah.
She just is a country singer.
Yes.
So like the
Mhm.
content easily could be conveyed in a different genre easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
it's that twanginess that makes it unique too.
Yeah.
Because
And
lyrically, it's like
but that's country though.
Yeah.
You know, she is a country artist. She is
Yeah.
just very open-minded
Yeah.
to other
Yes.
things. I've also been listening to a lot of Jelly Roll.
Ah,
'Cause
okay.
he's been kind of on the male side of that a little bit.
Okay.
know?
Okay.
Really different thinking.
Yeah.
Really coming out. He came out with a song that's called like "I'm Not All Right, but I'm Okay," and it's such
Damn,
a-
that's like the opposite
Wow.
of My Chemical Romance.
it's well, if you listen to the song though, it's really all about
Yeah.
depression, and it's
Yeah.
talking about that person that wakes up some days and just thinks, "Why go on?" But
Right. Right.
I'm not
Mm.
all right, but I am okay. You know, and that's
Yeah.
kind of where we're all at right now.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's nice.
But, all right, guys, have a great night.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, John.
Stay-
Nice
We'll catch you later.
Keep the conversation strong.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Let me know about next week.
Yeah. I'll let you know, man. Drive safe. Tell the girlfriend I said hi.
She says hi to the puppers as well.
All right. Excellent. John out. All right. Well, I've been, I'll be quick. I've just been mostly jamming on that Frankie and the Witch Fingers album that we covered last week, Data Doom. Just a really freaking amazing album. And every time I hear it, it gets better. And King Gizzard's coming out with a new album very soon. And I'm very excited about it, whatever it may be. That's it. That's it for what I've been listening to. Let's break into the album. Let's get into this album. Nights Like These. We got 10 tracks. So nice. Like, this is good length for an album that you can, like, you know, listen to multiple times. I like, you know, I'm a big fan of 10 or 11 tracks. So
That's good. That's good. The reason that I picked 10 is because if I did want to make a vinyl, I had to cap it off at a certain time.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
fair, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I didn't. You don't think of those things until you're getting closer to the end of an album, and you're like, "Oh, would I want a vinyl of this? And if I did, could it all fit?"
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. That's right. Because there's I forget how many minutes are in a vinyl. Is it like
I believe it's 20 minutes on each side.
minutes each side? Okay.
Yeah, and I believe this album comes in at like 36 or 36:23, something like that, right around there.
Okay.
So-
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a little bit
But
of
I
room to
agree.
spare.
10 songs. The albums that I listen to are anywhere from 8 to 11 songs. It's
Yeah,
a nice sweet spot.
I think especially, you know, it's really good for like pop albums, you know, albums
Mm-hmm.
that, like, you know, you want people to listen to like multiple times and, like, you know, dance and, you know, have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a good length. And what was I going to talk about? Right. Oh yeah. Today we're talking about dating. We're talking about breakups. We're talking about the rough nights when you think that things are going well and things are you're clicking, but then maybe you never see that person again. You don't know why, you know. And in preparation for this podcast, I have gotten back on the dating apps to see what it's like out there.
How do you feel?
So far, I'm not depressed from it yet, so that's good.
That's good
It hasn't
sign.
affected my mood in a negative way.
Because you're in
And-
Wisconsin, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I feel like LA dating on the dating apps is far different than Wisconsin.
I would assume so. Yeah. I would assume that it's like it's different everywhere you will go. You know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in a big college town, so you know, there's various people with doctorates degrees and bachelors and you know, and fine arts and things. So far, but you know, no major connections yet, but you know, we're starting, we're putting myself out there, making the, you know, the chats and things. I don't love the dating apps, I'll be honest, but I'm out there, I'm out in these streets.
That's a really big thing to do. It took me years after I moved to LA to like finally go on the apps.
Mm-hmm.
And I recently deleted them
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
I
Yeah.
can't. I have to meet people in the wild. That's hence
Yeah.
like improv classes and like
Yeah.
any class. I just sign up for everything because I'm like, I feel like it's an organic way to like meet people.
Yeah.
100%.
And it's just like easy. It's easier once you start doing it. You're like, this is like, I signed up for so many things this year by myself.
Mhm.
I did polar dipping, I did axe throwing, I did improv.
Wow.
And it's just like once you start doing it, you're just like, oh, this is so easy to show up and hang out
I
with people.
love this. Yeah,
And
that
then,
was
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
oops.
That was
Sorry.
me. The fall of 23, I was like, I got a personal trainer. I started taking drum lessons. I started improv.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, I was doing so many things. And you are 100% right. It's so much better to talk to someone in the real world. But here's my annoyance with this. Every time I have talked to someone in the real world and start talking to them, they're like, oh yeah, my like SO and I the other day. And I was like,
Yeah.
I had to put all this effort in.
Yeah.
But I can be far more attracted to someone if they're funny than like just looks alone. But I find with
Absolutely.
the apps, it's like looks first and then figure out
Yeah,
everything
right?
else.
Like,
Yeah.
like the chemistry piece, you can't tell from talking to someone online. It's like
Mhm.
that's why like a lot, like I said about improv, it's like there's people you're there that you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna click with them, but then you do a scene together and like, oh my god, like we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
And it's like the same with like sexual chemistry in general,
Yeah.
where you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I vibe with this person, but you kind of like, you know, when you know, and if
Yeah.
you know, like you don't know until you meet them.
Yeah.
So that's why
Yeah.
I'm like, I hate the apps. I'll just never do it.
Yeah. I guess so. So what you're saying is I need to do more projects
Sign up-
outside of the house.
Oh my god! Like
Interesting.
honestly, once you,
Interesting
for me
strat.
personally, when you start doing it, you're just like, oh, this is like actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Like,
Yeah.
For me personally, I was not one to be that social before. Like, I
Yeah.
just had a lot of anxiety and things like that. And then I just threw myself in. And once you do it once, you're like, this isn't. I didn't die. I'm still here.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
And it can be like a random class.
Yeah.
Like
Yes, exactly.
I
Mhm.
like that you went axe throwing. Like that's
Yeah,
very
that's
fun.
pretty-
Like I
that's
want
pretty
to
rad.
like, do
When's
archery.
Wisconsin would have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so honestly, like it's because then you're gonna if there's gonna be men
Yeah.
and women there, like co-ed anything
Yeah.
I want to join a bowling league. Where are they?
in LA. Yeah,
Oh man.
be a niche thing.
Yeah.
You guys have
But-
given me a
but-
lot to think about.
But like, listen, it's I give anyone who's on the dating apps props because
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you have no idea. My brother and his girlfriend met on Hinge and they love each other very much.
Yeah,
I'm
I
very
mean,
happy
I'm
with
just
them.
trying
That's
not
good.
to appear as a psychopath. You know what I mean? Like, from what I understand, the bar is pretty low for like
I think for everyone,
for
the bar is
dudes,
very
especially
low.
like as long as you
Yeah.
believe in women's rights, like
you're
Yeah.
already
You're
winning.
already,
you've already
like-
gained 10 points.
3/4 of the
yeah,
way.
yeah. So it's unfortunately,
It's sad. It's really sad. There
it's
was like a whole
very
movement
sad.
of women who
Yeah.
were like I'm refusing to date anyone, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? There's some valid points there.
I've been on some dates and I'm like, okay, well, like how do you view roles? And the guy was like, well, it's very traditional. Like you should cook and clean. And I was like, I'm leaving. Goodbye. fine.
Later. Have
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Have fun with all that.
Yeah.
like,
I'm like, you
that'll-
can have the children then. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Yeah. We live in modern times. He can have the children.
Oh,
Yeah.
but is this modern time good?
Yeah.
No, I would say
No.
definitively no.
Like,
no.
it's absolutely.
No. There's not really any wiggle room there right now.
No.
But hey, you can only go uphill from here, right?
Yeah.
You guys want to hear the first track of this album
Yeah,
we've been
let's do
talking
it.
about? Here we got it starts off on a little bit of a downer. Let Me Down, Here we go.
I crashed into the ground without any help from you getting up. I thought you were real. I thought you were something.
The horns at the very end were my idea.
Nice.
Okay. Is because the next track has the sax, right?
No, that's the third song.
That's the third track.
but
Okay.
That would have
Yeah.
made sense. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry.
so the first song is "Let Me Down."
Don't mean to poke
I'm
holes in
already letting you down.
this. But yeah, that one I really like the outro of that. It's really
Yeah, it's
really.
cool.
Anyone that listens to the podcast knows that I talk a weird amount about outros. I like that. It's got the feeling of like a fade out outro, but like you're just kind of like just ending the phrase. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I like lyrically. Oh, sorry.
oh no, go on.
I was just like the idea of like, I mean, I think I know I've been in those moments of like building yourself up after being kind of tossed aside.
Yeah.
And it's like, even just like the whole idea of like glowing up, it's like,
Yeah.
or like things like that, where you're just like, like, I don't know. I really appreciated it because I think it's like a common theme in life. So it was cool to hear it like spoken about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's like one of the things that also, like, I mean, kind of for me connects you to Kelly Clarkson besides your voice, is that you both have that, you both sing about, sad stuff in a very relatable way, and you're equally good at singing about some of the more positive things,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. It's no, a lot of these songs it is really that basic. It sometimes is weird for me to say that I'm a songwriter because I'm like, oh, this is just what people feel. I'm just saying what people feel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's truly in those moments that when I was writing these songs, it's how I felt. It was someone who I thought I could trust, who just like I like the last line is like, I thought you were real.
Yeah, that line really hits. Yeah.
And it was like truly in that moment. Like I remember looking at this person and being like, oh, you're going to be nothing to me after this conversation. Like I will never ever see you in my life again. And I haven't seen this person ever in my life again. But it's like I thought they were going to be someone. But and I think with this chorus, sometimes I was on the fence about this song, and it's funny that I picked it as the first one, but to me it just sounded like this is the start of the album.
Like especially the you have the kind of 80s kind of sound of the first 5 seconds or whatever, really kind of good ramp up to the song. But for me, for some reason I thought the lyrics were a little bit rudimentary. Only because it is simple. But at the same time, just like you guys said, like you relate to it, and that's all I'm aiming for. You're relating to an experience that I had that I know you and others have had. It's just very simple. I will say, like, one of the things that this album in general like reminds me of with like what it's about, we live in a very strange time for dating. Like we've just been talking about it with the apps and everything. It's like it can feel very impersonal. It can feel alienating sometimes, and also, there's those things that, maybe one person considered not serious and you were considering serious, and then like those, you don't communicate about that, and then someone's hurt.
Yeah.
I definitely relate. Like, like pre-pandemic, I had like a slew of just kind of bad dating experiences in
I
general.
thought you were gonna say a slew of girlfriends, and I was gonna be like, "Whoo!" good for you."
Well, I mean, I guess you could look at that either way. But
yeah, a slew of bad dates. Yeah.
Yeah. Just generally, like, experiences where it's like, one person is feeling this way, one person's feeling this way, and a lot of, just missed connections and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After putting yourself out there a couple times, it can be easy to retreat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I definitely suggest like signing up for a class.
Yeah.
It's like I reach, like I'm like, you're talking about this, I'm like, I'm never signing up for an app ever again.
You're right. It would
The
be
whole episode is like, have you thought
Yeah.
about signing up for a class?
It might be easier to sign up for a class. It might be.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, seriously.
we do have
At least
some
it's fun.
improv in town. We do have some improv.
You also are in a great spot because you're in
Yeah.
Madison, right?
Yeah.
You are in a great location to sign up for any of the classes
Yeah,
that
seriously.
those colleges have.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
that's a great college town to do something.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I'm an advocate for signing up for classes.
Yeah, I think so. For me, it's really. I was pretty good about it, but then the pandemic happened, and I was like, you know what?
It screwed everyone.
I really love staying inside of my house more than I thought I did. So yeah.
like
Whenever
the
I come out of my
opposite
house,
is
it's like me
like-
coming out of my fucking cave now.
So funny.
But I will look into the improv classes though. I'll see what the times and everything are, because like I think those are the people that would get me the most, because like
That's what
Comedy Bang Bang and Hollywood Handbook and like all that shit is like all I spend time doing in my free time. Just listening to that stuff.
And I'll tell you one thing, if you have felt like a hermit in your house, which is how I felt from like 20 to 2022,
Yeah.
even into 23,
Yeah.
improv people will get you out of your house.
Oh,
They'll
yeah,
be like,
yeah.
let's go get a drink. Let's go see a
Yes.
show.
Mhm.
Let's go do this.
Mhm.
And it's like,
Yeah.
they're
you should
so
probably do this.
extroverted.
Yeah.
I'm not that extroverted, but it like definitely forces me to be. I'm like, I guess I'll go out. Like I remember we went out one night and I was like, we're going out more. We're not done yet.
We're
like,
not
doing
done?
other things after this.
You're like,
how
guys,
many
it's
bars
10
do we have to go
p.m.
to?
We must
Yes.
go home.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But at the same
Somehow
time, I'm like-
I've gotten to that point, where I'm just like, I don't know. It's getting kind of
Yeah.
late, guys.
yeah.
They're like, the
exactly.
sun just went
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. I also have a decent. I have a decent amount of friends that have kids now too, so they're going to bed
Oh,
earlier
that makes
too.
it-
So it's like
This makes such a
it's like forced me into like following
you don't
their
need to do that.
schedule.
You need to
Just sign
find
up for
some friends with no
classes,
kids.
meet
You're
some
right.
younger
You're right. I
people,
need friends with
like-
no kids.
Yeah, it's true.
friends with no kids.
Friends with
No
fuck them
kids,
kids.
no.
I have
kids.
plenty of friends with with kids. So, but it's just,
Yeah.
it's you have to kind of plan
Yeah,
more with
yeah.
those friends. Where with
Yeah.
improv people, like, and I know a lot of improv people who have kids,
Mhm.
and they're.
Yeah.
You're right. We're all extroverted
Yeah.
and we all want to go out.
Yeah, I finally
Yeah.
saw my first real. I went to the UCB when I was out there, and finally saw like a real live, like intimate experience, and it was like,
Cool.
oh man,
It's
this
fun.
is the place.
This is it.
Yeah,
And then you get
yeah.
there and you're like, this is actually
Pretty
a lot
small.
smaller
It's
than I
very
thought.
very small. It's very cramped.
I could touch this person on stage.
Yeah. It was surprisingly small.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah.
A lot. I think a lot of people think it's a really. They did on their Sunset, the one that they had to close. That one was very big. That felt like a
Right.
very big venue.
Mhm.
But the one UCB Franklin is a very intimate space.
Yeah.
So,
That was fun. I really am just wanting to go back to LA every time I think about improv.
Mm-hmm.
This next track we got for you guys, this one was your second single? Third single? Third single.
Yeah.
Okay. And this one has an accompanying music video, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is Not Your Dream Girl.
And I try, but I am too shy to make the first move. Guess I don't mind. Just friends for the rest of our time. And all I know is that I'll never be your dream girl.
Actually, fun fact, I won't say who this is written about, but the inspo for this song, I actually was coming home from seeing a show at UCB, and
wow.
someone I knew
Speak
who
of
was
the
in
devil.
I knew a lot of people in the shows,
Yeah.
in the show, and it was one particular person who inspired this song. But then I also started watching 16 Candles, and so the inspo of the song was about this person,
That's very
and then
cool.
also what if these John Hughes movies didn't have a happy ending, or
I love
Jake
that.
Ryan didn't show up at the end of 16 Candles, and Samantha Baker had to figure something else out.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
That
that's the concept of this song.
that really like makes sense with like the production of the song. Like it really like
Yes.
when you
it
said it,
definitely has that
16
80s
Candles, I was
vibe,
like, yeah, absolutely. That kind of longing, but like fun,
Yes.
ness. I don't know.
I will give you a fun fact.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone could maybe play it somewhere. It's the same chords as the song from 16 Candles by the Thompson twins. They're like, if you were
Ah.
here, I could
Yeah.
deceive you. So it's actually the same chords. I just wrote a whole new melody.
Oh.
So that's why it also feels even
Yeah.
more.
familiar and yeah.
Yeah. That's a really
Cool.
cool way to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I like this. I was gonna say I wrote down on this track when the line "too shy to make the first move." I wrote down "Me too, girl, me too."
Yeah. This is definitely one of my favorite choruses I've ever wrote, because
Yeah.
again it's I was just writing exactly how I felt,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm way too shy to make the first move, so I guess we're just gonna be friends. Like, it's not
Mhm.
this is not gonna happen. If you're not
Yeah.
making a move, I am sure not making a move.
Yeah, I've been at that
So-
standstill a couple times.
Mhm.
Standoff or whatever you want to call it.
Mhm. Or you're just standing by each other's cars and you're like, okay.
It's just kind of like
bye.
staring big-eyed at each other, like,
slowly walking away.
Not breaking eye contact.
Yeah.
yep. We've all been there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm. That's one thing that I am actually really happy about, as opposed to like dating when I was younger. A lot more girls will ask you out now, which I appreciate.
Okay, so let's talk about this. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that you're totally into that.
Yeah.
I have found I have the worst luck if I ask someone out and I don't understand. And
There's like
You see,
yeah.
maybe we have the same reasoning then, because I feel that's pretty much the same. That's how I feel.
I'm like, oh, I'm telling you I like you. I'm
Yeah.
showing that I like
Yeah.
you, and you are just not getting it. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had
relatable.
too many people. Yeah, I've had too many people be like, "You're really intimidating," and I'm like, "Oh."
I've heard that too.
Oh,
It sucks. It sucks big time. But yeah.
Yeah.
I know I'm a
I
lot
guess
of
it's
energy. I'm an
compliment.
Aries. I know I'm a lot of energy.
Oh, you're
but
an Aries.
I'm an
Okay.
Aries.
Yeah.
I'm right at
That's
the
cool.
end.
Yeah.
Um,
The medium flame, I think of as the air with the Aries,
you think of the medium flame?
because the high flame is Leo. Let's be honest.
Oh,
it's
okay.
got
Maybe,
it's
yeah.
Leo.
Yeah, I feel like Leo
Yeah.
is definitely
Yeah,
is
yeah.
above Aries, but
Yeah.
I'm not a
Aries has
I'm
got
not
some
a-
heat though.
Aries has some
Absolutely.
heat,
Yeah.
but I have
Wild
calculated
energy.
heat.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how I say it,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah. I'm Sagittarius, which is a low kind of flame, but the flame is still there.
You're just like simmer.
Simmering,
Yeah. And then I can get really, really mad about something if I
Yeah.
need to.
It's like that bow and arrow kind of thing. Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You could
It.
take a
the
class.
force. The
You could
force.
take
Yes.
a class.
Yeah, I
Archery
mean, I
class
am.
can be-
Yeah, I'm almost
It's written in the
destined
stars
for
already.
the bow and arrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's dating has totally changed on like
Yeah.
who can make the first
Yeah.
move or not. And
Yeah.
I've heard it from all different couples, like, oh, they made the first move. Oh no, they made the first move.
Mhm.
And I think it just comes down to however it works. If you're putting
Yeah.
in the effort to be with someone and hang
Yeah.
out with someone, you clearly like them.
Yeah.
It's super attractive when someone is making that effort. But if
Yeah.
I'm making all the effort, no. I'm
Yeah,
not,
no,
I'm not
no,
being
that's-
turned on anymore.
Yeah,
Now I'm
yeah.
done. Now I'm done.
Yeah.
So,
Got to be a
Yeah.
two-way street no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah, those are yeah. We're gonna have more of these thoughts as we go on. I think just this is like a night of
It's a concept album.
of digging in on our dates.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of nights, this is nights like these.
Mhm.
Covers me in just seconds. Please set me free. It's nights like these that tear me apart. Such a fragile heart beating again.
Oh, I had to get some of that sexy sax.
So
Yeah.
good.
And who did you say that was played by?
That was played by Brian, or Ninja Brian, from the Ninja Sex Party. But his sax stage name is Très Magnifique.
Très Magnifique.
Yep.
Yeah,
I believe he is touring currently with Ninja Sex Party, and I think he's doing some Très Magnifique, but he's very cool. Ninja Sex Party, you also might know them if you're big YouTube fans. The show Game Grumps. Dan,
really?
Dan from Game Grumps is the lead singer of Ninja Sex Party.
Then my ex definitely knows about Ninja Sex Party.
Cool. Ninja Sex Party is a very fun band. They have a ton of like funny songs. They also come from the UCB world. And yeah, so Brian, or Ninja Brian.
Are Game Grumps from the UCB world?
I don't know about Aaron, but
Okay.
Dan for sure. He did UCB New York, and
Okay.
Brian, I believe, did New York City too.
Okay.
And then they've done stuff out in LA. They're both based in LA now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Game Grumps, Dan from Game Grumps is the lead singer, and then so Brian, aka Très Magnifique, did the saxophone, and all improvised, all so incredibly impressive. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah. Really, really
It fits
fun
so
chorus.
well.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
It
just
does.
like all I could picture is like it reminds me of the movie Tron. Like it has like
Yeah.
this neon kind of like vibe to it, which is really cool. And I
Yeah.
love the lyric
Vaporwave.
is
Yeah.
is this a circle I'm repeating? I think that's the lyric. I tried Googling your lyrics too. Or is it
Okay.
cycle or yeah, so it's just like this idea of
I
like,
should have
you know,
forwarded
my,
those to Danielle.
That's okay.
oh, did you have no, it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was just there was like I tried to jot some down here and there, but I was like I liked that line in particular, but it was just a really cool vibe to the song. So
It is a cool vibe. I'm also trying to pull up my own lyrics.
I know when I said it, you were like, it looked like you had no idea what I was talking about. I was
Did I
like,
write
"It's
that?
nice."
Is that what I said?
Did I say that? Yeah. It's am I losing control? Do I fight the feeling? This vicious circle I'm repeating.
Yes.
What do you want so I understand? Otherwise, I'll start disappearing. Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. Someone who wrote this stuff, I wrote this when I was 18. I can tell you this is about no one. I was not dating anyone at 18.
Yeah.
I don't know what was happening in my life that brought on this song.
Yeah.
But it's all about like being afraid to start something
Yeah.
new. What I can tell you is that I probably wrote this around this time. That's when I did start dating. I like just entered college.
Okay.
I was like doing new stuff. But again, I wrote some, to give myself credit, I wrote some really great lyrics for this song.
Yeah.
And it's super fun. But I truly cannot remember what the inspo was. I just wrote it. I just wrote
Wow.
it. So
You were just like
Wow.
channeling it.
Yeah.
It wasn't
I was
even
just channeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was the song, which I'm sure I said this in the beginning of this podcast, that it was originally sung very slow with like a sway guitar, and then it was my producer who like sped it up, and how it has its final form is just impeccable to me. And this one also has a music video.
Is this the one that's
that-
getting hella views?
No, this is the one that's getting okay views. We're
Okay.
at
Okay. All right. All right.
we're over 20K. Not your dream girl.
Hey, you're
has
in the
over
Ks. You're in the
105.
Ks.
I'm in the Ks.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's very cool. I'm actually shocked that this, to be a little egotistical, I'm a little surprised that it doesn't have more views because it's such a fun video. I'm going
Yeah.
through different 80s nightmare
Yeah.
scenarios.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
I'm gonna have to. I'm excited to
fun.
watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's people are not watching it probably because of my acting. I don't think I could have done better.
Well, but you're a
It's
Like
hard
a
singer,
to play
right?
scared. I give so many
Yeah.
people who are in horror movies credit
Yeah.
because that is hard to do. Trying to
Yeah.
work with an actor and be like, you have to be scared of them. You are terrified, and you're like, but I like you. You're really funny and nice. Why would I be terrified of you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know how I would even fare in that kind of situation. You know what I mean?
It's hard.
Like,
You will see it.
ah.
You will laugh when you see my performance because you're like, she was just goofing around.
Well, yeah. I mean, but sometimes goofing around can come through in a fun way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it's supposed to be campy or like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
it's supposed to be campy, very fun. There's a part
Yeah.
where I randomly wake up in a hospital and there's a clown and we
Mhm.
reference it around then and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not messing with you and I pretend to
Yeah.
go to the next nightmare.
Yeah.
So
Oh man.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy this one. It's very cinematic. I wrote down Clarkson belting, like belting music,
Oh.
belting vocals like Kelly Clarkson.
yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was a German term at first. Split second.
This is a term that I'm trying to coin.
It's like you're trying to
Clarkson
make
belting.
fetch
It's the clocks and hold off. Yeah.
Yes, this is the Clarkson belt. Yeah. And also, again, I mentioned Utada Hikaru earlier. This kind of reminds me of, well, not maybe her stuff, but earlier J-pop stuff. There was the thing called city pop.
City pop, okay.
Yeah. That's a genre. You'll have a fun time with that playlist if you find that on Spotify. It's
Okay.
just really great 80s pop music, but Japanese.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Totally into it already.
Yeah. This one really gives me some of those vibes. And then then we get to this next track has a really interesting soundscape. This is Flood Season, which is it's I like where it is on the track listing because it kind of, it's kind of where you want to slow down in an album,
Mhm.
before you pick
Yeah.
back up again. So here's a bit of that.
Never lose sight. Why your words are like thunder, unexpected every time. I long to see the lightning in your eyes, in your eyes. The storm's getting.
Yeah. The production's really expansive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was like, I wrote down, I wrote a bunch of notes for everything, but I was like, in this one, I was like, sexual innuendo, question mark. Because it felt very, very sultry. And I was
Yeah,
like, oh, that's
yeah.
cool. And the lyric, your expression was my espresso. I could drink you all day, all night. And I was like, ooh, that's a cool line.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This one's saucy.
Because it was even the idea of it being espresso is you kind of it's not like you mellow me out. It's you kind of invigorate me. And the idea of the lightning in the eyes and just
Mhm.
it was really cool. Kind of visual kind of imagery.
Is that what Sabrina Carpenter means in that song?
Which
I
one?
don't know.
The one,
I will tell you, I wrote Flood Season way before Espresso came
Well,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about that one as much, but I know she sings about espresso and people talked about
Yeah,
it.
that's
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't know in that context of Espresso.
I think I mostly know about that song because of Lily Sullivan, honestly. I think she made an Instagram post where she was singing along with it while she was drinking martini espressos or something. Anyway, that stuck in my head.
Oh,
Another one of those earworms.
another
Um,
earworm.
Yeah, but
It's Flood Season is like I mentioned on the live before, it's a song that this was the first time I put a poem to music. So I did
Right.
the reverse of how
Yeah.
I songwrite.
Yeah.
I wrote this back in college for a prompt And you are correct. It's a sexual innuendo. It's actually about, to be very graphic, it's actually about masturbation and wishing that someone was there. Yeah, self-love, or like
Oh,
thinking
yeah,
about the
okay.
person who turns you on, but they're not there. They're far away. It's one of my favorite songs just because of the doo-doo. I thought my producer did an amazing job with how everything sounds, and we added in the water elements. You can hear the drops in the beginning.
Yeah. It has that feel.
Yeah, and then also grabbing the voice in the beginning. I wanted it to have like a little bit of humor of like of him basically being like, well, like we need wet vacs to clean this up. To me, it's so funny every time I hear it because I know what the song is about. It just adds to that element. But no, it's one of my favorite songs, and I loved the poem in college. My professor loved the poem, and I was like, this poem is way too good not to have a song paired with it.
Have you guys ever heard the song Super Soaker?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah,
that was
it's
my mind.
It's like a dance. It's like a kind of dance housey kind of like electronic song, and it's like really like fun, like and it's like and then like you don't hear the lyrics really. Like you don't hear the lyrics because it's like kind of they're singing it in like a way that like it's mostly just kind of sounds. Yeah. And like I like favorited it. I put it on my like liked playlist and stuff. And like one day I was like really listening to it. I'm like, whoa, this song is filthy. Like I was just like, holy shit, all of a sudden like it all hit me. You know? But I just loved the sound of it. I'm like, oh yeah, this song fucking bops, you know?
That's cool.
Yeah. That's how I want Flood Season to sound. I want people just to be like, oh, this like sounds cool. And like we made it sound as if like you were rocking and like it felt like you were on a wave or something.
Yeah, it has that feeling.
Yeah, like with a tide coming in and out kind of.
It's kind of cool to think about like from a sound mixing kind of mindset of like how one would goes about those kinds of like conceptualizing that. You know what I mean? So it's from like my end of things. I'm like, oh, that's really interesting to think about. Yeah,
it's very interesting to go to your producer and be like, so this song is about masturbation. How do we get that across?
How do we get that across?
Interesting question. In a sane, appropriate way.
Yeah.
It was just funny because like I started listening to this. I'm like, this has a like it's not like you once you listen to it and like pay attention, you're like, this is naughty. This is very naughty.
Every good pop album needs at least one naughty track, you know?
It does. I mean, like even take Christina Aguilera's first album.
Yeah. Oh, right.
So many of her songs have innuendos, and you don't realize
like,
it as a
not
kid.
Even like want to do that song at first.
Like I'm a genie in a bottle. You got to rub me the right way. Like who? Of course, some man wrote this and was like, "You're gonna sing it." I'm pretty sure she didn't want to sing some of the songs, but I think she was also far more comfortable with her sexuality versus like Britney or other people.
Oh yeah,
she wasn't like demonized in the same way.
Yeah.
I feel like Britney was like, it didn't matter what she was doing. It was like they had to like chastise her, and Christina, it just like rolled off her easier, or they didn't hyper fixate on her as much.
Yeah. I think Britney suffered from that, like, you know, kind of child star problem, you know, where she just didn't get enough, like, just her time or whatever in her younger years.
Which is, it's so wild to like think of Britney, because Britney, Christina, Justin, JC, like they were all on that, like the Mickey Mouse Club show.
Yeah.
So like they all started around the same time.
Yeah.
So, and like to see kind of their outcomes now, it's like, oh, like poor Britney, and like what the heck. But that's all paparazzi in the early 2000s. That's really what
it was pretty bad. Like paparazzi in the early 2000s is like what internet comments are now. Like just the worst.
That's a good
the worst human beings saying the worst shit, making life bad for everyone.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's also here's also what I will say, and I've had this conversation multiple times with my producer. It's one thing to be 20 years old and making an album. Yeah. It is another to be in your early 30s making an album when like you know yourself,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know these songs, you
Yeah.
know what these songs are about, and it's a totally different mindset
Yeah.
versus
Yes.
when you're younger and you haven't had certain experiences.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Same with like
I
if
also-
someone did an album but they were 40 or 50 or 60, whichever.
Yeah.
Like it's so different.
I feel too is like I feel like I'm at a point in just history where just because no one did it before doesn't mean I can't be the first.
Yeah.
Where before is like if you didn't make it by the time you're 22, you're dead in the water, especially if you're a woman. And nowadays it's like, who the fuck is making that narrative? We don't have to subscribe to that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
know. Like you anyone can take off if you really think about it. I don't think there's like I think because of the nature of how like media comes across nowadays and how we consume like music and things like
Yeah.
that, there's like this like I feel like it opens opportunity in a different way than
Yeah.
what we used to have. So
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's actually something we kind of were talking about in the last week's episode, the fact that like there is all of this technology that it does make it better in a lot of regards, but is being utilized in certain negative ways as well that kind of you know, balances it, or not balance. I don't want to say balances because we shouldn't have to deal with that bullshit, but I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
Evens the playing field, is that what you mean?
sure.
No.
Yeah. No,
I'm just sorry, I just wasn't sure.
I appreciate you trying to make my close the loop on my thought.
Have you ever thought of taking a class?
Yeah.
Huh.
Just
Interesting.
get rid
I
of
know
those
that there's
apps.
an improv class in town, so just have to go check it out. Yeah. You know. Okay, actually, that just reminded me of something. I was starting to hang out with improv people before the pandemic started.
Oh.
Yeah, I was
Circle
starting to attempt
You
that.
started, and then COVID,
And then
just like everyone else, fucked it over for everyone.
Yeah. I like hung out with those improv people once, like, and then
You
I was
were
like,
so close.
I was
and
this
then-
close. I was this close.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's like a movie. It's
Yeah.
like a Hallmark movie. You're just gonna
Yeah.
move back to that town and meet those people again, and
Yeah.
it's just gonna
Yeah.
take
Exactly.
off.
I just got to go to the improv club, and they'll probably be the same people standing there.
A single guy who works too hard, who just wants to take improv classes.
You need the Reba wig if you're gonna like.
Hell
like
yes.
that way.
Hell yes. I love Reba.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Oh man. All right. This next, I don't have a transition to this track, but this next track we got for you guys is "Stay with Me." Oh, and my phone decided to shut off.
It doesn't want
just
to stay
then.
with you.
There we go.
That's what I'm-
Surprised that you don't run away, and instead you say to me, so baby, stay with me, not just tonight, but tomorrow too. And baby, just stay with me.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. That's nice.
I want to know you. Tell me everything in your head. And it was just like that idea of like getting like you meet someone, you click, and you're like, I want to know everything. I want to know all of you. So I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because yeah, it's like your brain's moving, or your brain's moving faster than your mouth can. You know, it's like because there's only so much you can get out of one conversation. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially if people are like more on the quiet side, and then like
Yeah.
maybe the more of the talker
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
in their head thinking like, man, wish I know like what's going on in there. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Again, very.
was this a person?
honest.
Was that a? Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say again, it's very honest. You know. I think, what I love about
yeah.
this mostly is just how relatable the album is. Honestly, it's just
Yeah,
it's a
absolutely.
very relatable pop album experience. You know.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's been the beauty and the joy of this album is hearing people being like, "Oh, I
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
listened to this song and I totally get what you were saying."
Yeah. Well, because like
Yeah.
everyone's like, I mean, it's not like everyone's gone all brat summer, but like, you know what I mean? Like there is that like irony and like detached like irony or whatever with that, that approach to pop music.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're bringing the kind of other side of that coin, which is the the kind of more genuine, like personal stuff. That's like there's not a big like a mask over what you're doing necessarily.
Yeah, I think just as the person I am, I'm very forward and honest, and
Mhm.
if I am putting a mask on, it's almost never. If I
Yeah.
my friends already know if I don't like you as a person, I don't talk to you. I will like leave
Yeah.
the room if I don't like you.
Yeah.
And no, it's just if I'm such an open book.
Yeah.
And I try my best to say exactly how I feel. But there are times
Same.
like a lot of like a good chunk of people in this album I didn't have those resolutions with.
Yes.
So these songs are those resolutions. I didn't get a
Right.
chance to like sit down and talk with these people
Yeah.
to be like, what the fuck happened? Why did
Yeah.
this go so sour? Or like, what happened? What did I do? What did you do? Why
Mhm.
did you just ghost me? And with
Yeah.
Stay With Me, I remember writing Stay With Me. I was like thinking about someone I maybe had a crush on. And it's those early days. And this song, out of all of my songs, was truly improvised. It was literally written within like 5 minutes. I have the
Wow.
original recording,
Yeah.
and the lyrics are like to a T.
Yeah.
And it truly was just me being like thinking, what would I be saying to someone
Yeah.
that I like really liked or wanted to continue to get to know?
Oh. Okay.
And hoping what that person would say back to me. So like
Yeah.
in this ebb and flow of this album so far,
Yeah.
you have me being like let down by someone, and then like, okay, like I'm stepping back out into that world, and then now we're here in the album where it's like, oh, like I have met someone, and it's like I want to stay with you. I want to. I think one of the lines is like explore you, like a new world, right? Is that like
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
loved that
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
And it's it just was me. I remember writing this and like sitting
Yeah.
on my bed and being like and singing it and really just being like, I want someone to be like, stay with me.
Yeah.
And like don't go. You don't have to leave at the end of the night.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do you have like an acoustic at home that you play with, or do you have like a keyboard? Is there something that you kind of your go-to kind of writing buddy?
My go-to is my acoustic guitar.
Nice.
A lot of these songs are actually written on my dad's acoustic guitar, which is like a Yamaha, and I love that guitar, but that's
Yeah.
currently with him in North Carolina.
Okay.
And stays there when I go and visit, and I can play it there. But
What kind do you have?
I have a Fender acoustic. I would love.
Is it like a curved back one or a flat one? Flat back kind of.
It's a flatback.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I would
the curved
love
ones.
to.
I can never get a hold on the curved ones. You know?
Well, here's the other thing. I apparently have very girly, dainty hands. It's hard for me to play some chords. So I play very basic
Yeah.
chords, and then my producer helps me out with if we change the key. I'm like, well, I can't play that chord now on the guitar. How am I supposed to play that? So
Yeah.
I play very basic chords, and I just kind of follow
Yeah.
the some
Yeah.
theory to it, but
Yeah.
I have a Fender acoustic, and I have another acoustic in my closet somewhere.
Yeah.
They don't get played enough, but I also would like to invest in like a really solid, great acoustic guitar. Not that my
Yeah.
Fender isn't great, but like
Yeah.
I loved the sound of my dad's Yamaha, but they're pretty pricey. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
so one day,
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Nice. One day.
one day.
Because I was gonna say, like, I with this song, I was like, I feel like, you said like you did write it pretty fast, and I can kind of feel that vibe with the track.
Yeah.
It does feel like a constant, flow.
Yeah.
I've only also written one song in that way. Because Paulo's curious about what's going on outside. But I've only ever written one song in like that short amount of time too, and it was like just similar vibes, actually, similar longing for someone that I don't know if they like me, and
Yeah.
and it just
Yeah.
all spilled out, you know.
Yeah, and my writing process is definitely different than other songwriters. I've talked to other songwriters and they're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, it took me like weeks to write this song." And I'm like, "Weeks?
Sometimes it takes
What were
weeks.
you doing?" Like, what were you doing? I feel like I have so much emotions and like so many words I need to get out that, like, yeah, I've had a few songs from here and there that'll take me like a couple days.
Yeah.
But the majority of these songs on this album, they were written so quick, somewhere between 5 minutes and an hour.
Mhm.
And it just was
Wow.
like exactly how I was
Yeah.
feeling. I needed to get it across. I needed to play it.
Yeah.
And then, so I have like all these rough tracks of these songs that I've written over the past
So you were
decade
really
plus.
feeling these songs when you were as,
Yeah.
you were, as you were
100%.
putting them together. Yeah.
Yes, which is why sometimes so many people ask me like, when are you performing? When are you performing? They're such vulnerable songs to me that it's like, oh, I have to perform now? I have to perform these songs? What do you mean? Like, I just
Yeah.
only imagine myself in my room playing these songs.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really cool though, because like you said, the writing process was really quick. I find the best songs tend to be that way anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That it's like you're on a flow state almost, or you're like
Yeah.
it's just you can tell you're so in your feels that it's just like coming out and it's
Mhm.
being like transcribed in real time kind of thing. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, I have not been able to reach that state in a good 10 years or so.
You mean
But-
feeling
Class.
emotions?
Well,
or
well,
You
yeah,
should
no,
take
it's been a while since I felt emotions, real
Are we
emotions.
talking about therapy?
What therapy?
Yeah, there's this new class called therapy.
Therapy. Okay. Yeah. No, but I was trying to, like, I wasn't like, very serious about songwriting, but like
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
in a pop punk band, and after that for like a handful of years I would write a few songs here and there, but
Cool.
nowadays I just play the songs I know, and it's just kind of therapy,
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. I love hearing about all these like details. Like it's
I know you
Yeah,
wouldn't
it's really
nice.
fascinating.
Yeah.
It is fun. It's fun for me.
Yeah.
I think I've always wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Before the album came out, I had this kind of dream of having like a short series podcast where I would go over each song and like how it came to be,
Yeah.
what it was written about. But this is like exactly what I wanted to like talk to someone about. It's so
Yeah.
nice.
You know,
It's
you could take
yeah.
this episode and chop it into like 10 pieces and just release it as a miniseries. Yeah. Yeah.
It's true. That's a cool idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool. Like
Yeah.
I'm
That'd
gonna
be
steal
tight.
all your content, Brad.
Yeah.
Oh, do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Don't ever name who I am.
credit or
Just take the intro out and don't ever name who I am. Just, it's like the narrator.
put like a logo over where he's sitting too. Just like,
Yeah. Cover my face too,
That's so funny.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna listen to one more track, and then we're gonna do a quick break. This next track is the first start of the second half of the album. Is this also the first part of like side B, like on the record, or would be?
For Means, yeah.
Means, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
all
'cause-
right.
Yeah.
So split right down the middle. Yeah. Well, here is Means.
Sitting next to me on the couch. It took everything for you to come by, and you don't even realize, you don't know how much it means to me. It can't be easy.
This is my Kelly Clarkson "Since You've Been
Yes.
Gone" song.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This one's got some drive to it, I was saying this one is the one, probably the rockiest, of the tracks.
Mhm.
Very angsty.
Got the angst.
Yeah.
And I love the fuzzy guitars. I said in my notebook here, what is this friggin' Weezer? These guitars, man. Yeah. This is
I love
funny.
Weezer.
yeah.
I liked it though. Like especially like I said to you earlier, like that you didn't stick to one genre, and I like that about the album too, where it was like I didn't know what the next song was gonna feel like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I feel like that makes like if I were a songwriter, I feel like I would lean into that too, where it's like, why do I have to pigeonhole myself into one thing?
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it, like going through it, because I was like, oh, it's like a, where's the next turn going to lead me kind of thing. So
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought this up because we talked about this right before we hopped on the podcast, and I was waiting to say this. But my motive for having an album like this is, one, yes, it's correlated to who I'm talking about and it's inspired by that.
Yeah.
But in college, my thesis was proving, or like trying to prove, that an artist could do multiple genres and still be successful with it. So I wanted to have an album that I could have an indie track, I could have a synth 80s track, I could have a rock track, I could have like a slow folk track. And I had many professors be like, nope, you're never going to be successful. Nope, that sounds crazy. And I'd have to give examples.
What?
Like, yeah, you had Blondie.
So say, I mean, there are examples. Your
There
professors
are
are
plenty of examples. I don't know what my professors were thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, I even had a professor who he did not like me.
It's like,
and
this
for
is
some reason-
preposterous.
For some reason, did not think I could sing opera. And at my senior thesis or my senior capstone show, I sang 2 pieces in opera, and he literally came up to me after and he's like, I apologize. I didn't realize you could sing that way. And I was like, why are we testing me? I know what I'm doing. Why are we doing this? But to have him come up to me afterwards and say that, I was like, holy crap. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So, and it's.
Well, yeah, because I should mention, Danielle, she has a BA in vocal performance.
oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's
Thank you.
I was on EI recently. I was like let go of my job, and I live in a university. Oh, it's all good. I'm not saying it like that. I just mean like I had free time on my hand. And yeah, exactly. And then so Dalhousie has a music program. So I would go there like 3 times a week, and they would do like performances. They would do like singing, piano,
cool.
like wind instruments, like things like that. I would just sit there and be like in awe of these people who are just so profoundly good. So it's just like cool that was your world, because I was like, I spent like the last several months just like watching these people, and it's just like incredible to see someone still doing it. You know what I mean? Because there's people, like, I could hear them talking, they're like, oh, I'm gonna take an admin like course after this, and you know, it's like, and there's some that, you know, to continue on with it is like incredible, and I hope more and more success is thrown your way. So
thank you. I that's very nice of you to say. It's no, I remember getting my degree and being like, oh no, was this a bad idea? Did I do something wrong? And I remember my focus was opera in college, because I have a 3 to 4 octave range, which is like crazy weird. And
that's wild.
It is wild, and I didn't learn until college. And so it's weird. It's weird. It's like Whitney, Mariah Carey level, but like I don't think I can hit their notes as high, but I can go like really low, and like I can go all over the place.
Yeah.
No, exactly. I would have vocal teachers in middle school and high school who were like, I can't teach you. And I was like, oh my God, am I that bad? Like, why can't you teach me? And it wasn't until my vocal coach in college who was like, no, they can't teach you because your range is crazy. They don't even know where to start with you. Yeah. And I was like, that makes sense. That makes more sense.
Yeah, put you
what about Queen? Like, can you do Queen songs really well? Like, I'm trying to figure.
That Freddie Mercury is very fun for me to do.
Yeah,
I love Freddie.
He must have had a similar situation or something.
I'm pretty sure
he did have a very wide vocal range.
It's crazy. And the same with oh my God, you guys are both gonna beat me. Who's the lead singer of Journey?
I don't think I've ever known.
He died and then they replaced him.
Did he die? I just thought he got replaced.
Oh, maybe he didn't die. Maybe they just replaced him. I don't know.
For me, Journey is a unit. So
yes, Journey is a unit. But he also has a fun range.
That's true, because they had to do auditions to replace him.
Is that
they had to get a very specific person to do it?
And they found some guy like on YouTube who was literally recreating his voice, and I was like, holy
exactly.
Cow.
Is that like a shape of the vocal cords or something? Is there like an explanation for that, or do they?
That's a good point. I don't know.
I mean,
how do I alter my vocal cords to hit all these octaves?
It's a lot of training, and I don't know what the special sauce is. I just know that
genetics. Maybe.
Maybe it's genetics. I really can't tell you. I don't know why I was given this unique gift. I'm trying my best to use it all the time.
Well, yeah, vocals are especially a very like you said, unique thing to, like to each person. Like you never know how if like every way of singing has been done because someone is going to come around that has their own way of doing it.
Yeah, and I find one of the things I had to like submit kind of information about me for PR for magazines to interview me.
Yeah.
And I remember my producer at one point, she was like, "You're not some of like the singers that are around lately. They're very breathy and very like up here and they sing like really high and really delicate." And I'm like, fuck no, this is me. Like you are getting my full voice.
Give me that baritone.
Baritone. Yeah.
Well, it's even like Taylor Swift. I was like, when I was watching her perform, like her, I can't remember the Eras tour.
Yeah.
She's singing everything on a lower register. Like she's singing in an alto. She's not singing.
You're getting older. So as you get older,
exactly.
Yeah. And I remember, I believe it was the song that we'll talk about in the next half, CMF, where I actually told my producer, I was like, we can't raise it because I'm only going to get older. And if we were to raise it, I don't even know if I could hit these notes in 5 or 10 years. So let's just keep it here. I know I'm solid here and I'll be okay.
That's so fucking smart.
Right? Isn't that crazy to think about though? Like I can hit it higher.
Yeah. That's insane forethought, like, Jordan. That's so smart.
It is.
You're blowing my mind.
To think about. Yeah, like, I went to college for this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, almost like you went to college for this.
It helps,
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm not surprised if you have someone who's been performing for 10 plus years, everything's going to be lower. And on top of that, it's also not a bad thing because if you have an audience that grows with you, their register is lower also. So if they're like, I can like still match, be like, actually, you probably just went down a couple.
Training yourself right now.
Yeah. There are definitely some singers that later in the career are kicking themselves for how far they went.
Yeah. But I mean, it makes sense because at that moment you want it to be crazy and cool.
Yeah. You don't give a shit. You're young. You're getting out there. And then you age and your body changes and
Yep. And it's like take Miss Mariah Carey, who I don't know if you guys are like a big fan of her. I'm indifferent sometimes of her. I think she has a crazy vocal range.
Right.
But as someone who at her age is still performing and still trying to hit that note, I don't know if she can hit that note at the moment. She probably could with a lot of practice beforehand. But I also wouldn't be surprised if she's like, hey, I'm just going to use the backing track. Like, I'm just going to sing with it.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised.
Well, yeah, especially like, pop performances these days kind of remind me of like, I don't know, hair metal in the 80s where it's just like there's these giant like events and they're like running all over the stage and they got to be like out of breath at all times as well as trying to sing. And then you get people on the internet being like, oh, they're not actually singing. And like,
You're like, oh, they're lip syncing.
Yeah,
no
shit. It's like, you fucking do
it,
dude.
They can't breathe.
Yeah. It's hard, man.
Yeah, like the clips of Miley Cyrus who's singing on the treadmill. I was like, yeah, of course. Her performances are like crazy all the time.
Yeah, that's
There's
like
no other way that you can train. You'd have to like run on the treadmill and sing.
Yeah. That's pretty much like the like standard now for like pop girls going on tour is like you have to be able to run and
cardio,
sing at the same time.
Yeah. So imagine me terrified.
Yeah.
Well, hey, maybe you can be like one of the pop star that has like more chill shows.
I'm just the sitting pop star, just sitting on every song.
Yeah. Like I'm not trying to run from here to here to here to there. Like
no, maybe skipping.
Yeah.
Skip.
There you go. Yeah. But this has been a fun first half. We got 4 more tracks for you guys after this quick break. And when we come back, we have what's the one that's coming up next?
After Means, Why Don't Do Favors?
Yes, this is okay. This is the one that got stuck in my head the most. So I'm looking forward to this one. And yeah, we will see you guys after this little break. Welcome back, everybody, to the Album Concept Hour. We're here to finish up this album. Came out this year. This is a hot, fresh, new album. Nights Like These. Jordan Duffy is here with us, and we have Danielle here as our co-host. Welcome back, everybody.
Thanks.
And yeah, so not throwing any shade at the earlier part of the album, but definitely side B though. Like,
You like side B more?
I think I'm more of a side B guy. I really enjoy side A is great, but like it was, I think, the tail end of the album where I was like really like, I don't know, it just really hit
And
me.
I think they both have like hold up.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a very different vibe for each. So I get what you're saying. But
Yeah,
I definitely
like,
appreciated both sides. But
yeah.
That's
I
a
like,
huge compliment.
Yeah, I like
because I find that when you listen to an album, you're like, oh, this is great. And then by the second half, you're like, all right, I'm tired. I'm done.
Yeah. So that's something that we experienced listening to. I mean, sorry for any the Chicks fans out there, but Taking the Long Way.
Okay,
like I did feel like it was maybe a little bit solid. Long,
Yeah. I love the Chicks so much.
Yeah, and it is a great album, but it was I think just the time period. Like if you were making like a song that was on the radio, you had to have
they're like right at the top.
Yeah, you had to have an extra chorus.
The second half, it's like slowing down.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was one where it's like I felt the kind of slow down happen, like the momentum shift, But yeah, this one though,
no, mine cranks right back up.
Yeah, because it's like 10 tracks, That one was just, I think it was just a slightly too long of an album, you know what I mean? But again, like shooting for that. That's a nice thing about the rise in vinyl being popular, I think, is exactly what you did, which is like, this needs to fit on a vinyl at least. Yeah. And I think that in that time when that was the case, when everyone did that, it forced you to really, put some thought into what you chose,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I support vinyl length albums. This next track we got for you is now this is the one that really had me worrying about Engineer Jordan. Okay, this one was like, it's like who hurt Engineer Jordan? And whose house do we need to show up at?
That's been everyone's response when they hear this song. They're like, hurt you. And I was like, oh God, okay, I maybe hit the nail too hard on this.
Yeah. We need names. We need a list. We're gonna get justice. But no, here's a little bit of why I don't do favors. Oh yeah.
And that was all over the place.
I loved that ending too.
Yeah, that was really cool. There was like one thing that I can't remember where it is in the lyrics of that song, but I wrote it down. It's like you refer to like collectively an us, and I'm like, who is the us that you're referring to?
That is a good question. So this person in question, they are a very famous person, so I will not say who they are. I'm giving myself an NDA. It was a specific event.
Yeah.
That was a collective whole that they screwed over. And I heard what they had done to those people and myself. So having my own experience, hearing what happened to them.
That makes sense.
And this is what came out of
So this is you going Mama Bear for your friends. So
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense that people are kind of going Mama Bear for you after hearing the song,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can give you one little detail. This person who I was close with because of this event blocked me on Instagram.
Oh.
I've never been blocked before. Not that I know of.
Yeah.
But
Was it after the album came out or?
No,
Okay.
no. This I remember. We were in the middle of working on this album. This event happened, and I was like, "This song's going on the album." My producer was like, "Okay, let's do this." And like I mentioned in the live, like I wrote this song within 12 hours of what happened.
Yeah.
I was so angry, and I went to my producer and I was like, "It needs to sound like Charlie XCX. This is a fuck you anthem." And it's specifically why I don't do favors is tagged because it's what the person said to me and the collective.
Wow, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so everything is.
So you're taking
those
back
who
the
do
power.
know. Yeah, those who do know.
Yeah.
It's like spot on of what happened.
Yeah.
And even down the chorus gives hints to like what career they might be in. But yeah, they had said something, and they're also no longer they're no longer accepted at the establishment because of what they did.
Okay.
So-
okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They fucked up.
They fucked up.
Yeah.
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 And they still are going on their merry way as if nothing happened, and people are still
I
like,
usually do.
they're
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you have
Oh,
no
it's
idea.
tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah. You just
Yeah.
kind of have to like. Eventually, people fall, and then it's like that's when you're like, that's a good moment. But other
Yeah.
than that, it's like you can't really let it
Mhm.
affect you.
Yeah, it
You have
sucks.
to be
Yeah.
better than those moments. You know what I mean?
And you would have thought, and like there's purposeful lyrics in this because they made such a big deal about like, I'm not a bully, I'm not like a bad person.
Yeah.
And to see everything that happened, I was like, what?
Yeah.
You did everything. You're a total hypocrite. Like you did
Yeah.
everything that you say you don't do. And you're a complete asshole. And you are too old to know like the shit that you're pulling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
too old not to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, I think you captured that. You captured that vibe. Yeah.
But but I love how everyone's response is like, who hurt you? I
hurt
need
you?
to know. And I'm like, you're never gonna. It's very
Yeah.
what's that song that's like, you're so vain? Because
Oh, you
They
probably
play
think the song's
Simon.
about
Yeah.
you.
because Carly
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
said who it was. I think people speculated
Speculated.
Yeah. That's
Nova
one of my.
Scotia's referenced
Yeah.
in that song.
What,
until they die. I
What was
will
that,
not say
Danielle?
who this song is about.
There's in that song. There's a lyric that references Nova Scotia.
Ooh.
Huh.
It's
What
like
is the
it's
lyric?
on your. It's like on your Learjet. Your Learjet. You sent your traveled on your Learjet to Nova Scotia or something along those lines.
Oh.
Which I have to I'd have
Huh.
to backtrack. I can't get to the line myself.
Okay, so you
But
guys
yeah,
are
so
name
it's like-
drops.
Oh, it's one of those sad things that like in Canadian media, like if we are referenced
Yeah.
in anything, it's like a big deal. We remember.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like
We're on the
Canada
map.
Yes, it's sad, but it's like I will remember anything that Nova Scotia or Canada is referencing a lot of the time because it's
Yeah.
just it's like we have our own media that's
Mhm.
like not connected to the States at all.
Yeah.
But if we're referenced in like US like movies or things like that, it's like we made it. like it's just stupid, but it's like this weird thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like World War Z is another one with like that they end the movie in
Yeah.
Nova Scotia.
Oh, really?
Even though it's
Oh,
clearly
wow.
not
You guys
filmed
must have
there.
been proud.
It was during COVID. We had really low numbers, so I think that's part of the reason. I don't know.
I think it's not giving Canada. I'm giving Canada all their credit, but I think it's similar. Like if you're from a certain town and you hear that
Oh,
town in a movie and so forth. Like I am from Worcester, Massachusetts, and there's a few times where Worcester is referenced in like some TV or movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, but then I will like see the logistics of why they're mentioned, and then I'll be like, what? Worcester would never do that. Like, what?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
They got the
Same.
reference, but they don't understand the culture.
There's
Doesn't
an
fit in with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit with it. There's an episode of Dawson's Creek where, and it's in the later seasons, where one of the characters goes to Worcester to see a show. And I was like, you're telling me someone who was at the Cape went all the way to Worcester when they could have gone to Boston to see No Doubt in concert. I was like, none of this makes sense.
The logistics are insane.
It makes no
That's
sense.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm glad you like that song.
Yeah. That's a
That's
fun
cool.
one. Let's see. I was just gonna mention I love the breaking the fourth wall at the end there.
Yeah.
That's always fun. And then we have Looking In, track 8. Oh yeah.
Feel from a distance, looking in. All my past lovers are married now with children. I'm glad I'm not with them.
That line really hit me, man.
Yeah.
As a 36-year-old man, all of my past lovers are married now with children. It's like, yeah.
I'm glad I'm not with them, but it still makes me sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
Yep.
I not good enough? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's fully. This was totally written about like all the people. I stumbled upon someone that like I kind of didn't have a thing with.
Yeah.
And I saw that they were married to someone who looked nearly identical to me and had a kid. And I was like, what?
Oh, that's rough.
And then, but
That's-
that's not the first time. This was like the second or third ex that I look back at who they ended up with. And I was like, that's why I was like, was I just a pass through to your final destination? Like to me, that's what like
Yeah.
hit me the most is like,
Yeah.
like, okay, you're ending up with people who look so similar to me. So like, what was my problem? Like, why?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I love Looking In. I know that it's like the very like maybe this one doesn't fit with the album. It wasn't going to be on the album.
Oh, really? That would have been
yeah,
a
but-
mistake, I think.
It would have been a mistake,
Yeah.
fully mistake.
Yeah, yeah.
It was really hard for me to place it in the album. I wasn't
Mhm.
sure where to put it, but
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah, but the more people who I let hear the album, they were like, "Oh my god, this is like you're so raw, you're so vulnerable. It's a totally different side of you and your vocals are different." I think Danielle earlier you said like it's a different side of me. And to
Yeah.
me, this is like Looking In is like how I started in music. Like I was doing those open mics, me and the guitar, me solo.
Yeah.
It feels like that in those times. And eventually I would love to have an album that fully feels like Looking In.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that is a good like a rich like production sound to explore.
Which is it's so out of all of the songs, this was like the least production. It's so simple.
Yeah.
There was like
Yeah,
the
right.
smallest amount
Yeah.
of guitar like and it sounds so full.
It sounds
was
like
one of-
classic too. Like
It
it's
sounds
it's
classic.
it feels like you could just throw this in the middle of 60s or 70s or something, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I was like this in certain like
Yeah.
terms of the record length.
yeah.
This like I could hear it as a record because
Yeah.
like records have a warmer sound.
Yeah.
And I
Mhm.
found this song like I could visualize like you performing on stage because I didn't know that you did, like you're talking about open mics and stuff. But it was like hearing that I'm like you can hear it on an album like or sorry a record. You can see
Yeah.
you playing it. There's a warmth to it. There's like a depth to it that's like different. Like the other ones, it's like I feel like there's a funness and there's like a playfulness and like creative expression. And then with this one, it's like it feels very stripped back and very much like I don't know, just like pure. There's a pureness to it.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
There's something about it being it's like some raw feminine vulnerability part
Mhm.
about
Yeah.
it
Mhm.
and I love it. It's one of my favorite songs to perform. It's
Yeah. It's very bluesy.
I love the
Yeah.
blues.
Yeah,
My
it's got a
favorite
bluesy-
this might be a shock to some people. My favorite genre is Bayou blues. I love that
Okay.
genre.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not like you hear my album and you're like, oh, okay. Like, I guess Bayou Blues is your thing.
Yeah.
I love it. It's my favorite thing. And,
Yeah.
I was thinking of I don't know if you guys know the history of like Muscle Shoals and like the recording studio down there, but like back in the 60s and 70s, like that studio was like cranking out these like amazing songs with like Aretha Franklin and just these
Mhm.
epic songs.
Yeah.
There's a documentary, I believe it's just called Muscle Shoals, but
Okay.
when I hear Looking In, it reminds me of
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
documentary. And just,
Mhm.
if I was going to go with Casey Musgraves, folky country, it's Looking In. That's how
Yeah.
I would sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
I probably could add more twang to it, but
No, it's got
yeah.
just the right amount of twang, I think.
Yeah, it was good.
I think
Thanks, man.
I think any more twang, and it might have needed to be on its own album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then you're getting into like a different genre almost.
And you'd be like, what the fuck's happening? I just heard Why I Don't Do Favors, and now I'm listening to a country song. What's happening?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you guys were talking about it a bit, but like, yeah, having so many different like genres present is like, I think something that past eras of pop music have really thrived with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it has. I think a lot of times recently it has been more homogenous sound for an album, but Chappell Roan's album though is an album that flies in the face of that too.
Yeah.
It's all sorts of different genres, which
Yeah.
is part of the
Mhm.
reason I think it is such a stone cold classic coming out of the gate.
Yeah. You're seeing all different sides of her.
Yeah, all at
Yeah.
once.
Same with this album. It's
Yeah.
all different sides of me.
Hmm. Yeah, and I really, it's refreshing.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
This next track we got for you, it gets a little more exciting for a second before we get back into the acoustic zone. This is CMF.
You're not the only one, my dear. I let you think you had me under your pathetic spell. You think you're the magician, you're the rabbit, can't you tell? You're just holding me back from what I can do.
I can't tell. It's like I feel like one of my favorite vocals of the album. I think just
It has definitely like movie montage.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
80s,
yeah.
like working out kind of vibe to it.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely. Like this, throw this on your workout playlist, people. You
Oh,
won't
absolutely.
regret it.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
This song and Means are actually about the same person.
Okay.
So
Oh,
it's
interesting.
yeah.
it's very similar feels.
Yeah. Vibe wise.
Yeah. But it's CMF. By the way, it was originally supposed to be called Confusing Motherfucker.
Yeah.
But in
Oh,
fairness to
okay.
my parents, for like their kids' like
Ah,
very big first album, I
Oh,
wanted
yeah,
to be
that's
like a
fair.
little bit
Aw,
nice.
That's nice.
so I-
That's nice.
Yeah, I just changed it to CMF.
I thought it was cool
Yeah.
mother-fucker before I heard the song. I was
Cool
like, I was like, is it cool motherfucker? And then it
That's
ended up
funny.
being the opposite, essentially.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
No, it's confusing motherfucker because he was a confusing motherfucker.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's really it. But
I thought maybe
very
you were
fun.
going to say, I'm a cool motherfucker, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta rewrite the whole song now.
Yeah. Maybe an
Um,
alt maybe, I don't know.
I'm a cool motherfucker. Yeah. No, I love this song. I love. I actually right before I went to like print the album, we had a version, and I was like, nah, I'm still not feeling it. And it makes me laugh so hard that you love that vocal, Brad, because it was my brother who was like, no, you need some like opera part, because originally it sounded very like Tron synth, which
Okay.
you can
Yes.
hear in the second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We left it in.
Yeah.
And it was just that. And my brother was like, no, you need some like a chorus here that's like, ah. And I was like, oh, fine. I'll go back
Yeah.
in and I'll fix it. And so
Yeah.
we tweaked a few things. And then I absolutely fell in love with it. And I was like, oh my God, my brother is right again. It needed the chorus sound in that part.
Yeah.
And I think that's what adds to that. Like, it feels like I'm like fighting a wizard. I think that's
Yeah,
why my brother
right?
had
Yeah,
that
yeah,
like
straight up.
D&D kind of S.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Like lightning bolts shooting out of like staffs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I will say in this song, out of the entire album, my sister, who is a writer herself, she actually wrote the second verse of this song,
Oh.
which I find is a fantastic verse.
Okay, so you've have you had a little bit of each of your siblings on this, or is there
Not-
one missing?
Oh,
One's
that's
missing.
cool.
I don't mean to single them
Next
out.
album.
Sorry.
Yeah,
No,
the next-
she's like the business side. She like helped.
Oh, okay.
Like she has a
Okay,
business.
so she's
major.
involved. She's
fantastic.
involved. She's just
she's involved with
yeah,
some
yeah. She just didn't
heavy
didn't
points.
put any vocals in.
Didn't put any vocals in. My brother is the only one who's added vocals, and
Yeah.
my producer, of course.
Yeah.
But all of that chorus part, it's just me, just singing different octaves. My
Hell yeah.
brother
That's the
only
fucking way to
has.
do it.
It sounds so cool.
Yeah.
My brother only has vocals in Nights Like These, but he had like a lot of great. He was the one who suggested the saxophone in Nights Like These. He's the one who suggested the chorus in CMF. So like he has.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He has a good ear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no, I love CMF. And yeah, so my sister Donna, she has helped me write a lot of songs, or at least like
Yeah.
helped like smooth them out.
Yeah.
She was a big, I think she helped me with like every single song on my first EP.
Yeah.
But this album truly, I was actually shocked when I was like writing up the credits. I was like, oh, she only helped with this one. Like every other song is just me. And that really threw me. I was like, oh shit. Okay, this is really my album.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, CMF actually had a totally, she wrote the whole thing over, and then I was like, no, it needs to be Confusing Motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
It needs to have this sting to it, and
Mhm.
but I loved her second verse, and that's why I kept it in.
Well, yeah, and the confusing motherfucker part is, I think, the most relatable part of it, because like,
Right?
We-
Can you imagine if
that's-
that wasn't there?
yeah, we have all been in a dating situation where we're just utterly confused and we don't know, where things went wrong or right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's
Mhm.
definitely like if you, it's one of those
Yeah.
things where it's like, what happened? What was it?
Yeah. It's truly again, even though this sounds so like rock and like
Yeah.
and really hardcore,
Yeah.
again, the lyrics are really simple. Like
Yeah.
you're just like the others, you confusing motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's truly me just being like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
What's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
Just say what you want.
Yeah. Say what you mean, dude.
Yeah. So and
Yeah.
it's and I love how it opens with like, I don't need your approval to know that I'm a queen. Like I
Yeah.
know my
I
worth.
love that line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know my worth, and like you're not
Yeah.
gonna hold me back.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it's such a great song. I just want to
It
ride a
is, it's so
motorcycle
good.
down the highway.
Yeah.
Yes.
This definitely
Yes.
this is a song to get you pumped for sure.
Yeah.
The production, excellent. I was gonna ask, who else do you have personnel wise on the album?
Yes, it's Tara, who's one of the lead guitarists of the band Kitty, who's from Canada. Another Canada highlight.
Yes, we
Yes.
love Canadians.
Yes.
We'll take it where we can get it. So
You can have Wisconsin, please take it.
And her and I became friends because she heard me on the Best Friends podcast that I was on.
Aw,
that's cool.
Yeah, and I didn't know who was DMing me. I just thought it was like some random fan. I was like, okay, thanks. It took me about 2 years to figure out who she was. But I've never told her this, so if she's listening, that'll be very funny. It took me, she invited me to an album release party, and I was like, who is this? And I finally went to her page, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't know who I was talking to.
Yeah.
Who is DMing me? And we met in person, similar to you and I, Brad. Like we were talking online and then met in person in LA.
Yeah.
Went to her release party. We instantly connected. And I also brought my producer.
Yeah.
We all fell in love with each other. And I just was like, hey, would you want to be a part of this? And she was like, hey, I'm in LA on this date. Let's make it happen. And I was like, holy shit. So
Yes.
you can hear her guitar through the entire song. And then her and I at I believe the bridge part, it's I acknowledge the mixing probably could be better, but you can hear it's meant to be kind of faded, my opera.
Well, yeah,
part.
yeah.
So
I
we
only
are
say that
competing.
because like I enjoyed the part so much. I'm just like,
and
yes,
there's
I want to hear more of this.
There's so much going on. I
Yeah.
feel like I should just make a video of me stripping back each part. That
would be really cool. Because honestly,
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that because it felt like another instrument.
Yeah,
Like you were using,
yeah.
like I know that your voice is an instrument, but it was like
Yeah.
on a whole other level that your voice was an instrument.
Mhm.
You know,
And it was
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was hard during the mixing because so much was happening and you want to be able to hear everything.
Yeah.
And that's why I call it like, it's like the competition part of like, you hear her electric guitar, you hear
Yeah.
my opera, which I'm pretty sure I sing
Yes.
the highest note I've ever sung.
Yeah, you
Which
really
even,
go
like,
all over the
adds to the-
place. Yeah.
Like you're talking about like that D&D kind of fantasy
Yes.
kind of like almost like
You
visual.
can see someone like
You see-
shaking
yes.
the dice and throwing
Yes.
it as it's happening.
Yes.
Like, ugh,
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
need to
And
make
just,
this
like-
music video happen.
Dude, right? Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God, it's
yeah.
gonna be the most nerdy thing on earth, and I'll love
Yeah.
every second of it.
Call up Apodaca. I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
he'd be
Make it
interested,
happen.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I met one of the guy. Do you guys watch Critical Role?
No,
I've
never
I've
heard
only
it.
seen reels. I've seen a lot of reels of Critical Role.
Okay, so I met the guy who does. Oh, I don't know any of the D&D.
Yeah,
terms.
yeah, the main
head
guy,
guy?
the host kind of.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
met him at Brian's
He
show.
seems fun.
He was very nice, and I was like, "Oh my god, we should just ask him to be in this music video if this happens."
Dude, yeah, right?
I hope you did.
Yeah, yeah.
Or I hope you will.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
like one of those videos where like it's not like focused on you, but you're like there, you know?
Mhm.
Like you make an appearance, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, I love the song. It's so fun. If I need to be amped up, this
Yeah.
is the song I listen
It's
to.
good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good amp up song
Glad
for
you
sure.
guys like it.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
that's cool.
you take us out easy, a nice positive way. Here's Unknown Owner.
Oh, yeah.
Dear unknown owner of my heart, wherever you are, come my way.
Is there a little bit of crackling on that?
Yes, there's like a record scratch plugin.
Oh
that we
my
put
god.
on, or effect that we put on.
Oh my god, I just noticed that this time. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Nice.
It'll be double on the
Cool.
vinyl.
I was like, this sounds
Yeah.
so warm.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds so warm and,
does.
and nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my producer's touch because she was like, not that it sounded great without it, but she was like,
Yeah.
we want to give it like just like an extra touch. And
Well, yeah, it
really
almost-
made it work.
Like it almost evokes like being by the fire or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
with the crackles and stuff.
I can see that. Yeah.
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 I definitely picture like wedding venues, like first dance kind of vibes.
Yes. Very much
Like
so.
it's very easy to like because it has that like kind of very slow that like you can picture people like dancing to it.
Slow
so it's really
dancing to
pretty.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
like I just find I've never like I like that idea of you're writing a love song to someone you don't
You've
know
never
who they
met.
are.
Yeah.
You never met, like you don't know when you're gonna meet them, but it's like that idea of
Yeah.
like putting it out there and being like, I'm gonna trust that I'm gonna eventually have them in my life and just like putting it out,
Yeah.
Yeah. Manifesting, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never know. Like
Yeah.
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 And again, this was like with the concept of the album.
Yeah.
You're at that part where you've gone through the why don't do favors, the like
Yeah.
realizing, like looking, like you've gone through this whole album
Yeah.
being like, what the heck? And so I wanted
Yeah.
it to end on that high note, that hopeful note of,
Yeah.
okay, I went through all of this. I kissed all these frogs. And
Yeah.
whoever comes next, I really hope it's worth it. And like,
Yeah.
I don't want to keep waiting for you. And it's
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think to me, it's a sad song because it's something that I felt for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But I know to others, and like hearing what you guys have said about about this song is like, it is such a sweet song.
Yeah.
And
Very
it's
sweet
written-
sentiment.
Yeah, it's very sentimental. But from the perspective of me writing it, I do view it as a sad song because it's like, oh, I wrote this during that sad time and just being like so defeated and being
Yeah.
like, okay, who, like my parents have our high school sweethearts and funny enough met in chemistry class and like have been together forever and are each other's best friends. And it's like, okay, what happened to me? Why am I waiting?
Yeah.
So it's that like,
Yeah.
like I'm trying to be patient. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen? So that's kind of, but I love Unknown Owner. It's I think I've said this before. It's my parents' favorite song.
Oh yeah.
I love
absolutely.
the title too.
They love it.
Yeah.
It's a cool title, right? Unknown
It's
Owner.
really cool.
Well,
I
yeah,
love
this
that.
one is one I think that can, like, you know, like you said, with your parents like it can span over several generations because of the subject matter and
Yeah.
the style, you know, too is very accessible. So it's like, yeah, I mean, this is one that, you know, you can throw on for anyone and they'll get something out of it, I think, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, very accessible idea and yeah, it's so sweet. It's just yeah, just a nice idea. Like there's a thing that a term that I heard from someone that was on the podcast, which is actually, so there's a thing called Lonely Hearts Club that used to be a thing. Right?
Oh
Yeah. That's where people would like, it was like dating, like you know, people that were also, you know, looking, and I've always liked that.
Didn't the Beatles also have the Lonely
Well, yeah,
Hearts
they had the
Club
Lonely
band?
Hearts Club band. That's what I knew that from. I didn't know what Lonely Hearts Club was. I didn't know that was a real thing until like recently, and I was just like, oh, that's like the best way, I think, to talk about like people that are older and still looking for love. Lonely Hearts Club, you know, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should bring it back, is what I'm saying. Lonely Hearts
Great.
Club.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
That, you know what? That'll be my next album.
Yeah. Lonely Heart. Yeah, you
I'm just
know.
gonna rip off the Beatles. It's be fun.
But then you'll be able to tell them like, no, this was before the Beatles. You don't even know.
Somehow you traveled back in time and you're like,
This is pre-Beatles.
I'm 100 years old.
Engineer
Yeah.
Brett's going to be so pissed at you for taking that title. But yeah. So we've gotten through the album, and there is one more thing we have to do before we get out of the podcast, and that is judge the album. It is now time
Be hard. You can be
to
as harsh as you want.
judge.
I'd rather you be
Um,
super critical. than
Well,
not.
I mean, honestly, fortunately, like it is actually much more of a concept album than I was anticipating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does have a through line. You are staying on the subject matter throughout, and yeah, I mean, I think that it would just like we do like 1 to 5, 5 being like you're the Wall and Tommy and whatnot, your Chris Gaines, you know. And then 1 being like maybe like a soundtrack or something that's not even really a concept album, you know.
Yeah.
I think that this would easily be in a 3.5 to 4 for me. I think that it is a concept album. It is connected, and it made me feel a lot of things, which I appreciate. you know?
Yeah.
So
Aw.
yeah. That's that would be my rating. And you
I would
guys can rate as well.
I would definitely like echo those sentiments or like have it at 4 out of 5 too. Like it's just because I like the idea of like kind of like focusing on a night
Mhm.
in like our lives and like those
Yeah.
pivotal moments or those
Yeah.
like interactions because like honestly there's a few that you mentioned that like there are things you're always going to remember, like certain people that you met that like things fizzled out or like things fell apart and you're just like you kind of encapsulated it or like memorialized it in a song.
Yeah,
So it's
memorialized.
like that-
yeah, that's a good way to
so
say
it's
it.
like that idea of like having it span those kind of nights that we kind of remember and maybe not for the best reasons,
Yeah.
but they stuck with us. So I definitely would put it into that kind of number thing.
Yeah. Okay. 3.5 to
Thank
4.
you.
Okay. And then you get to judge too, Jordan.
I get to judge
You
too?
you get to vote too. Yeah.
Oh, God.
We take all, you know, one time we had a band on that voted 6.9 for their own album. Apparently it's usually 1 to 5, but they voted 6.9. So I wrote it on the
Changed the
books.
scale.
Yeah. That's the only one I think that did average out to over 5. So, but
Okay. I'm like, it's a 10. I'm just kidding. No, I think I would agree with you guys because as I was making this album, I wasn't thinking of a concept.
mhm.
I think I just was like, these are my songs and this
Yeah.
is how I'm going to place them.
Yeah.
But then, like, as I was getting near to the end of the album coming out, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this does have like a storyline and an arc
Yeah.
to it. And like, I purposely put songs in places because it would flow. And I know a lot of musicians who are very purposeful with
Yeah.
their placement of songs. But for me at the time, I was like, oh, this sounds good into this, sounds good into that. But
Yeah.
then when you look at it from a lyric standpoint, I'm like, oh, no, this is like, you can see a relationship starting, then it's done, then it's going back, and then I'm angry, and then it's like here, and it's,
Mhm.
I would agree. I think a
Yeah.
3.5 out of 4
Yeah.
does make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
for
You get
concept
the
hour.
whole roller coaster ride, you know?
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
roller coaster ride.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that it's probably going to be one of those albums that like you look back at it and it like really captures a like particular time in your life too. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of like, I mean, that's part of the reason that Charlie XCX's Brat is as I think as good as it is because it is capturing a very specific time in her life where she's, you know, dealing with one of her best friends dying and really trying to reestablish herself. And it's a very, very personal
It's a
album,
moment.
which is why it rose, you know, up to the top, you know. So
Yeah.
and yeah, I think the yours has similar qualities in that sense. So
Yeah.
um,
And
yeah.
I think with this album, I mean, it's all stuff that I was feeling, and I know that it's so cliche, especially when we were younger and being told like you're not alone, everyone goes through the same thing. And I think when I was growing up, I'm a pretty empathetic person, and
Yeah.
I will find sometimes that people will just come up to me and start telling me their life story, and I'm like, okay, this is what's happening.
Yeah. I get that
and-
kind of stuff too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
it's very I'm always like, how can I serve others? I usually I was
Yeah,
telling,
same.
I was telling my producer that sometimes if I don't want to go out somewhere but I know I should, I kind of frame it as like, okay, I'm meant to go out for some reason, and it's
Yes.
I usually
Yeah.
frame it as, okay, how can I serve others in this moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I have times with people that they will all of a sudden tell me they're going through a breakup, and the next thing I know, we're hugging and they're crying, and I'm like, everything's okay, it's all good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
to think of it from my album's perspective of like, I know for a fact that people have been confused by
Mhm.
someone that they're trying to date, or something's not clear, or someone pissed them the fuck off and they don't
Mhm.
know how to get that out there. So I like to imagine that there's a song in this album for everyone.
Mhm.
And even if you don't like the whole album, that's totally fine and doable. There's plenty of albums where I'm like, I only like one song on this album.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I at least, if I can get you to like one song or
Yeah.
get the feels from
Yeah.
one song, then I've done my job.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Well,
Thank you guys so
Engineer
much.
Jordan, thank you. Or sorry, Jordan
Yeah.
Duffy. it's still
I love
default
it.
my brain. Jordan
I still
Duffy.
think I'm Engineer Jordan on Discord, so it's all good.
Yeah. There are still the fans that still follow you from the podcasting days.
I need
so.
to have an Engineer Jordan shirt.
Yeah,
I'm convinced
yeah.
I need to have one.
Yeah. That'd be great. But yeah, we really appreciate you being on the podcast. Where
you so much
would
for having me
you
on.
suggest people tune into your album? I know you have a band camp.
I have a band camp where you can physically go
Yeah.
buy it. I'm hopefully on my website, jordanduffymusic.com. There will be physical CDs and merch you can order in the near future. It will happen. I'm trying to get it uploaded.
Merch.
It's amazing how hard
Yeah.
it is to put merch on a website. I don't understand
merch
why.
is always the tough part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to Jordan Duffy Music. It's usually updated all the time. My Instagram, Jordan K. Duffy. And you can listen to my album anywhere. If you want to support me, Bandcamp would be great.
Yes.
Otherwise, I know people, I know their situation. Go stream it.
Yeah.
all the time. Just play
Mhm.
it constantly.
Yes, just play it, and then you can even walk away if you need to, but just keep it playing. Keep
And you can watch my
keep
music
those plays
videos.
playing. Yeah. Oh, we'll make sure to put some links in the description with some of the music videos when the episode actually the audio episode drops.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for having me on. This
Yeah,
was
thanks for coming
so
on
fun.
again. Like it's so great to have you come back after, a couple times, like having your own thing, and
That's so
yeah,
cool.
yeah, after talking about music with you, like, yeah, it's like a full circle kind of episode,
Yeah.
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 So, yeah. Anyway,
it's my it's
yeah.
like when Billie Eilish goes back every year to what Vanity Fair for her interviews.
Yes.
This is my
Oh,
Vanity
and-
Fair.
oh,
I
I don't think we
love
mentioned
it.
during the podcast. You said you had the drummer for Billie Eilish on some of these tracks.
Yes, the
Yeah.
drummer Andrew Marshall, who is the drummer and the band leader of Billie Eilish and her
Yeah.
band, plays the drums on all of my songs in this
Yeah.
album.
That's freaking cool.
So cool.
It's
Yeah,
very
I
cool.
don't think we
He's
mentioned it at any
super
point,
fantastic,
but yeah.
super nice.
Yeah.
There were so many things like mentioned in the breaks that I'm like, why did we take a break?
yeah. There's a lot.
Like,
Yeah.
keep it going.
Yeah. People are gonna.
It's
This
like,
is
I recorded all the audio, just
Yeah.
like punch it in somewhere.
yeah.
Like your sister's book, which I was so sad that like I feel like you should plug it because it
Oh yeah,
sounded
my,
cool.
my sister has a
Yeah.
she self-published this book long ago. It's called Donna the Dead presents Sex Ed for the Undead. It's a zombie sex
What?
position book that's
Hold
animated. It's so fantastic.
Dawn of the Dead presents what?
Donna the Dead presents Sex Ed for the Undead. It's
Oh,
so
Donna.
funny.
I love
Like, the
title.
name is
I love the
Donna?
title.
Donna.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'll put
It's
a
so
link to
fun.
that in the description as
I
well.
feel like
Yeah.
limbs should be falling off in those.
Oh,
like,
if you look at the imagery, it's the cutest images, all of them.
Aw,
But there are
that's
some
so
crazy
sweet.
moves. I'll tell you one. I helped out with this title of this position called Rigamore Tits.
Ooh,
This
nice.
sounds like a really fun book.
It's a very
Yeah, it does.
I'm going to put a link in the description for that. Danielle, you're working on some writings too, right?
Yeah, I was talking to Jordan about it earlier. I have like the cover now.
Okay.
It's like it's done. It's
Yeah.
just like in the little like tiny minute
Yeah.
like it's probably gonna be up there like within the next few days.
Okay.
Which is
Okay.
insane to think about. Because
Wow.
like this has been something that I wrote like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That I just like am now like I need to get rid of it so I can write something else. 'Cause to me, I'm
Yeah,
like I can't
right.
have it published
Yeah.
until it like I can't. I feel like my brain's like that where it's just like I need to get this done.
You
So then it's like
finish the
done. You know,
first
like
thing. Yeah.
yeah, it's like there's so many people who they'll
Yeah.
start a project and not finish it, and I'm like, I need this like actually done,
Yeah.
Mhm.
so then I can do the other thing. And it's
Yeah.
I changed the title. I like it. It's been a working title for a long time, but it's now shit. It's like Life in Lemons.
Ooh.
Fuck. I'm so sorry. I gotta look at. I'm not good.
Well,
with,
you
like,
just you changed the
remembering.
title recently, right? Like
Yes,
it had a
like,
different
that's the
title
thing.
before.
So it's that's exactly it. Thank you.
This
for
is me with
defending
my
me.
lyrics. If you watch me perform,
Well,
I'm pretty sure there's at least one song where I'm like, "What's the lyrics again?"
well, it was funny because when I brought up a lyric to you earlier, you kind of like looked at me like you had it was like
I know. I was like,
okay.
"What did I write? What did I write?"
So that made me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
So it's called Life in Lemons: a guide for making proverbial lemonade. So it's like all of this idea of like I don't know if the cover is not going to be like that obvious, but it's probably too like there's like a lemon. I put my cat on the back. Like anyway,
Cute.
it's
Yeah.
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 It's like it's really just like looking at like for example being poor as a kid
Yeah.
and what are the things that were benefits from that, like what kind of things did I get out of that like actually are cool, like
Yeah.
I might maybe I treat the CEO and the homeless guy the same, that I don't view one as better than the other. Maybe it's I have more resilience, like
Your
it's
creative
like
thinking.
Yeah.
like you're able
Yeah.
to problem solve,
Yeah.
you're able to like deal with like burdens in life maybe a little easier than someone who was handed everything in their life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things where it's like so it's like taking those kind of like life events and then trying to like where's the silver lining, what's the learning lesson, where's the part
Yeah.
of me that like felt like I gained something from the experience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's
It's like
yeah.
that.
That's that's needed, That's very needed.
yeah.
And you said it's going to be done in a few days?
Yeah, like it's done. I'm just like I'm in the process
Okay.
of like uploading it to Amazon
All right.
because like they have a whole self-publishing kind of thing
Yeah.
there.
Well,
They just
then,
click on it and buy it and stuff.
yeah. Well, then that's good because like by the time the audio version of the episode comes out, I'll have a link for it in the description.
Well, yeah, then that'll put like the fire under my ass. to
Yeah,
get it
yeah,
done.
yeah. So you got about
You
a
gotta
week and a
finish it.
half or something.
I know, right? I
Yeah,
can do it.
yeah.
I can do it.
Until you will make me a liar, and you don't want to make this
I
podcast
don't
a
wanna do
liar,
that,
you
not
know,
at all.
like so.
Never.
Yeah. But thank you all, Danielle and Jordan. It's been a pleasure. Thank you everyone for listening to the show. Go to youtube.com/Flyover State Park for all of our content. We prefer you listening to it there rather than Spotify if you get the chance. But we love y'all. You have a good one. Next time.
See ya.
The album concept hour is Brad LeBaron, Dave Gallagher, and John Aker. Special thanks to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard for the theme music. Join the discussion on our Discord. Or for everything else, go to linktree/Flyover State Park. See you on Side B. This is Flyover State Park. You are clear to land.